Welcome to Cattle Cluck and Oink. Glad you could join the herd today. Today we'll be covering and looking at the tenderloin. So let's see where the tenderloin comes out of on the animal. So you can see the picture right up there, and it's in an area of the cattle that doesn't move around very much, thus being very tender and but not a whole lot of flavor necessarily. But here's a picture coming from the packer, and you can see here's a different makeup of the tenderloin. So you've got the hook and the wing and the head over here, they call it. The center part of the tenderloin is here. The side muscle is over here. We'll get into some videos in a minute. And here's the tail portion of the tenderloin. So typically you would center cut fillet steaks from right about here to right about here. And you could cut this end to end, but it's not as desirable of just cutting from the barrel. Here's another shot of the tenderloin with the side muscle, which weighs about a pound, by the way. And it's not a usable piece of meat, really. You can grind it. Maybe there's some fat in there as well, but not so much lean. So you want to remove that side muscle. And then here's also some silver skin and fat removed. So there's yield loss here, and there's yield loss here. So maybe that's a pound and 5 ounces or something like that out of a 5-pound tenderloin. So, again, if something's $15 a pound, the fat's $15 a pound, and so is the lean. It's all the same. So you want to try to not remove as much as you have to, right, to clean it up. So here's a video, and here's we'll get into how you cut this product. So we're going to clean up the tenderloin at this point, right? Now he's working. There's a seam there where his hand is, where the side muscle is. So you notice he doesn't have a knife right now. He's just kind of seaming out the side muscle. He's kind of pulling it apart. Now he's pulling off some of the fat. So that's what it looks like from the packer with all that fat on there and silver skin. The silver skin you'll see in a minute. It's underneath all the fat. So he's pulling that away. He's going to remove this side muscle because, again, it's not a really usable piece of meat, and it's not a good piece of meat. You want to get rid of it. But again, you notice he's not using a knife right now. He's just kind of pulling it apart with his hands because there's a seam there. Now he's got the knife, and he's working the hook over there in the head, or the wing is what it's called, and that's that portion of the tenderloin. So he's just pulling the fat off. Now you see the silver skin up in here exposed, and he's going to have to remove that too because that's really chewy and it's like an elastic piece of something. So you want to get rid of that as well. Now that's the hook over here, right? So you can see that hook is not a single muscle. It's just sitting on this tenderloin there, and he's going to remove that as well. Now you could cut steaks end to end on this product, and that's a whole nother video, but he's not going to do it like that. So he's taking that, see how big that side muscle is and all that fat there? Can't use it, get rid of it, let's take it off, right? So he's doing that, he's going to put it to the side, and now you have a nice piece of meat for the most part. He's got a little, now he's taken the hook, the wing of the side, the hook off of there, and now he can use that. He can cut that into cubes, or he can cut it into strips for stroganoff or something like that. But that's a usable piece of meat. You want to clean up a little bit, but basically you want to use that. Now here he's taking the silver skin off, and you've got to be very careful. You don't want to take lean off here. You just want to take that silver skin off. So you're just going to kind of get underneath the silver skin, slide your knife underneath it, and what he's going to do is flip it over. And you're going to see how clean that piece of silver skin is. There's not a lot of lean on it, so that's perfect. He did a nice job there. So now you have even a cleaner piece of tenderloin. And now you're almost ready to cut steaks. So you can clean up just a little bit more, got a little more fat on there. You can clean it up as much as you want to. So when you cut a steak, right, all that fat that you didn't cut off is going to be on that steak. So it's up to you whether you want to clean it to that extent or not. He's doing it. Now, so there's a little bit more fat on there. He's taking that off. So now it's really clean, real clean, looks really nice, perfect piece of meat there. And now he's almost ready to cut steaks. Now, this, you'll see he'll probably flip this around, and there you go. And then he's flipping it again. So over here is that tail portion. So that it thins down here. Now he's cutting center cut fillet steaks out of the barrel. This is the barrel part of the fillet, or the tenderloin. So, so tenderloins you can buy 5 up or 5 down, 5 pounds up or 5 pounds down. So if it's a down, 5-pound down, the steaks will be thicker than they would if it's a 5 up product. So he'd probably get about 5 or 6 steaks out of here. Now he's getting down to the tail portion, and you can't really cut a center cut steak out of there. You're going to have to take that piece, and you're going to have to, again, strip it or cube it. But that's fine, because you can use that, right? You can't use that side muscle, but you can surely use the tail portion of the tenderloin. So in a nutshell, that's it. I mean, it's a great piece of meat. You can see some marbling down here. It's not a lot. There's not a lot of flavor in a tenderloin, no matter what the grade is. But you can get a select tenderloin, for example, when you talk about grades, and it's going to be very tender for the most part. So there you go. Thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. See you in the next one.